In the last section, we started talking about the React and Redux design of our application. Again, at the end of that section, you're probably thinking, Stephen, when are we getting to the testing stuff? But I'm going to make the claim that we've kind of already been tackling some of the testing stuff already. You see, let me tell you a very quick anecdote about testing, particularly for people who are getting started with it. I find, personally, that as soon as people start getting started with testing, they always say, hey, I don't know what to test. I don't know what I'm supposed to test. How am I supposed to write these tests? I don't even know where to get started. So I'm going to give you a reproducible framework that you're going to use inside this application to get a better idea of what tests you should write. All right, so here's what we're going to do. Here's our flow. So anytime you start writing tests on your own personal project, and even on this one right here, this project that we're going to get started on, I want you to follow these 3 steps. I want you to look at every individual part of your application. So every component, every reducer, every action creator. And I want you to imagine that you sit down next to a friend and you tell that friend the purpose of each of those parts of your application. So I want you to turn to your friend, turn to your buddy, maybe there's someone next to you, I don't know. And I want you to imagine that you start telling them, hey, here's the purpose of the app component. Here's the purpose of the comment box. Here's the purpose of the comment list. Here's what it's supposed to do. And whatever you say to your buddy, whatever you say to your friend in that moment, that's what we're going to write a test for. So in the last section, when I started telling you about the different parts of this application and what each part of it was going to do, that was my description to you of me telling a friend, here's what this part of the application does. So we're now going to go build out that application, and we're going to write a test that's going to essentially test or verify the functionality of everything I just told you in the last video. So, quick example. I just told you 2 seconds ago that our comment list component is supposed to take a list of comments and render each one out on the screen. And so you know what? That's exactly what we're going to write a test to verify. We're going to write a test that looks at this comment list component, and we're going to verify that for every comment that's been created inside of our application, we create exactly one element on the screen. We'll also write a test around the comment box. Remember in the last section I said, oh yeah, the comment box is going to have a text area and it's going to have a button. Anytime the user enters some text in here and then clicks on the button, we will want to clear out that input from the text area. And so boom, there's 2 tests right there. We're going to write one test to verify that the comment box produces a text area and a button. And we're going to write a second test to verify that anytime the user clicks on that button, the contents of the input or the text area get cleared out. So again, we're going to use this framework again and again to get a better idea of what tests we write in our application. And so in total, I think that these are the different responsibilities or different things inside of our application that I would describe to you if I wanted to give you a walkthrough of every part of our app. So we've got some functionality tied to the app component, some functionality tied to the comment box, comment list, comments reducer, and save comment action creator. Another good example would be the app component right here. Just in the last section, I said to you, oh yeah, the app component doesn't do a whole lot. It doesn't have a lot of responsibility or functionality tied to it, besides showing the comment box and showing the comment list components. And so that's another perfect example of 2 tests that you and I are going to write. We'll write one test to verify that the app component does show a comment box, and one test to verify that it shows a comment list. All right, so I think you get the idea here. I think you get the idea of the approach that we're going to use to figure out what we want to test inside of our application. So again, every white box you see on this diagram right here represents a test you and I are going to put together. So let's take a pause right here. We're going to come back to the next section, and we're going to get started on the React and Redux side of our application. And then after we get a little bit of functionality put together, we'll start implementing all these different tests inside of it. So let's get to it. Quick break, and I'll see you in just a minute.